Hello. Hello, stream. How are you? Oh, I forgot, actually. 1 second. Come on, cat. We gotta go. Thank you, Scrubby.
I'm here as well.
What's up? Thank you for the sub. And I got a host from Crazy Cosplays as usual. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Give me 1 second. I forgot. I wanted to grab the water behind me. Come on, cat. We gotta go. Before I break all my vocal cords today from talking so much out of my ass, you know, figured I might need water. Blue Sky, thank you for the prime, much appreciated. Hi everyone, how are y'all doing? Hi, 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 hi. Hello, 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 hello. I think I see some new faces today. How's it hanging? How are y'all doing? So, this is a bit of like a weirder stream than usual, because this is kind of more of like a serious thing. And as you guys know on this channel, we usually have a lot of fun here. For people who don't really come to my Twitch channel that often, because I definitely can see some new people here, and I'm sure it's because of, you know, we're talking about Origins. So, you know, I can definitely see some new faces in here that aren't here that often or are here or brand new. So I know for a fact that at least with my usuals, they know what we do here. You know, we play games, we have fun, we play Minecraft, we play other games, we joke around, we have a good time. But today's stream is a little bit more serious. Now, of course, I'll still keep it upbeat and, you know, jokey as I do, but we are going to be talking about some, like, decently serious topics. Not anything that's, like, going to alter the universe, but, you know, some things I don't think creators usually share with their audience. I would say. So I don't know. It's weird because it's just stuff that's been on my mind for a long while, and I wanted to talk about it, but I didn't want to like make like a video or something crazy to like, I guess, dick ride off of Origins in a sense, you know what I mean? Like I didn't want to make something to just try and grab every single person on the planet to check it out. I just wanted to have a discussion about it, and the people that care enough will show up, I guess. So besides just talking about Origins in general, I'll probably even take questions from you guys about Origins. Not about like characters and stuff. Like if you actually have like just general questions about Origins, because as one of the last 3 admins left in Origins, I feel like I can be a bit more open about things. I can't go into like massive super details about every single thing, obviously, but you know, I can talk to you guys, and I feel like that's a problem that we've had with Origins, is we kind of keep a lot of things secret. And we hadn't really spoken on like a 1-to-1 ratio with the audience, you know what I mean? With my channel, myself, for people who follow me, not just for Origins content, but for other things that I do, y'all know that I talk to you on like a even level, and especially in my live streams too on here, we always talk. So most of the time, you know what I'm doing and what I'm talking about. So, you know, between a lot of people leaving recently, there's just a lot happening. We went from 8 admins down to 3 in the span of a month. So, like, it's getting crazy. The only admins that are left are myself, Xylo, and Naya. We're the only admins left out of our entire admin team. Between all the people leaving recently. Let me jump over to my PNG model. Now, I don't want to start things on a negative note. I want to start things on a positive note, because there have been a lot of good things that have happened recently. You know? Like, example, yesterday we had 3 new members join Origins. We had Bun, or Kai, we had Marshy, and we had Froggy. So we had 3 new creators join. So we have new people joining in to do stuff. So we have things that are going on and whatnot that we want to do, and we're very excited to have them on board. So I'm very excited for them, and I think they're going to do great work. So, you know, there's a lot happening, and I'm excited for them. I mean, Froggy, I personally think should have been a creator a long time ago. Bun was kind of new, I would say, to Origins. They haven't been in Origins as long as Froggy, but they've been here for a while, and they've done a lot of stuff. So, you know, we doing shiz. And Marshy's getting back into it. And then we had, you know, like I said, Bun, who just joined. So, we're doing stuff. Are you and Dylan not on good terms because of that? Who's Dylan? The FNAF guy? I think, right? I don't know them that well. Yeah, I feel like Froggy, personally, just for my own take, no disrespect to Marshy or Bun, but Froggy should have been a creator a long while ago. I think, personally. I've been wanting them to be a creator for a long time. Yeah. What about Colin? Colin's not an admin. But like I said, I don't want to talk for everybody because it's not my place. It's not my right to do it. You know what I mean? Like, I want to talk more or less as like an admin here. I don't want to say like this person, that person, this person did this person's leaving, you know, whatever. I'm not going to say that. It's not my place to do that. It's up to them at the end of the day. I know for a fact that what we got right now, I can definitely see a few more people leaving. Some people that haven't said anything yet. Some people that might be on the fence. So I don't, honestly, from an admin point of view, from a creator's point of view, I don't know what's going to happen with Origins. Because our team is kind of getting split like in half, basically. And I think that was because we went from being this kind of passion project to trying to become kind of like a business, which clearly did not work. Obviously. We tried a few times to try and get Origins off, like, you know, go up and beyond. And, you know, go in and try and, you know, pick it up on a level that would, you know, surpass the normal MCRP kind of game. The only problem with that is that MCRP is not the most popular thing on YouTube right now. So when we tried to swap it over to a business setting, it was right when MCRP slowly kind of like dwindled because SMPs were happening and, you know, 100 days, Minecraft butt, you know, all these different trends started popping up all at once. So it kind of took the Minecraft MCRP community and kind of like knocked it down a bunch of scales. Not to say that I don't enjoy MCRPs. Obviously, I'm doing them. I enjoy them. It's just, it's no longer on the tier of what it used to be, I guess is what I'm saying. So when we tried to swap it over to like a business setting, things kind of got shaky. I think. So things got a little shaky. You know, we had Obo 3, we had SNO, and then everyone, including myself, we were burnt out, man. We were so burnt. It was bad. Like, we were all burnt out. We were dying. We'd been doing Origins content for years straight. You know, no in-between breaks, no nothing. We just kept going. I've been in Origins for 5-6 years, something like that, since FTO Season 2. So, you know, it's that evolution of time where we started as a passion project. We tried to become a business, in a sense. and we failed. I mean, that's that. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We failed. We didn't hit what we wanted. And now because we haven't hit that, it's kind of, I would say at this point in time, for the creators that are passionate and then the creators that are trying to survive, it's kind of like making a choice. Do you follow something that you're passionate about and try to survive? Or do you try to move on, do something better for yourself that you enjoy more, and try and find success there? And that's kind of what's happening. I would say, from a person who's not leaving Origins, I've said this a billion times, I'm going to keep saying that, because I know people are going to constantly ask me, Mitch, you're leaving Origins? Is this why you did this? Or is this why you're streaming right now? It's like, no, I'm not. I've said it a billion times. I'm not going anywhere. But I understand why fellow friends and creators that I know are leaving. It's because some are burnt out from doing this for so long. People just don't have the same passion as they did. You know, there's a billion reasons. And again, it also comes back to MCRP not being the most popular thing on the planet right now, because it's not. And I know that for a fact. I know it's not. It's just not how it was like 4 years ago. You know, times change, content changes, you know, the Minecraft community changes. One day we're all watching the Duckscast, and now we're watching Dream. Like, you know, things change. Everything has its evolution between the years, and we were so far behind mentally about what we're doing that now that we're here where we are right now, we're kind of in this weird spot where we're between MCRP that we love and then other things that we could be more successful at and evolve ourselves from. So it's you know, it's people growing up, finding different genres, you know, figuring different things out. So it's the change of times. I know for myself, I'm not going anywhere with MCRP. I like it. I like doing it. I'm a storyteller. It's what I do. But like I said, don't be surprised if you start seeing more people from Origins, people that have announced them, some people that haven't announced that they're leaving. I guess I'm just saying it now. Like, if more people leave, do not be surprised. Like, yeah, I get you're going to be upset and that someone's leaving to do other things, but at the same time, you also got to support those people that are making that decision. Like, I'll be honest, I've been very scared. I've been very anxious about everything that's going on. I've been upset myself because I've worked with a lot of these people for so many years. So the fact that they're leaving, it's like a part of my life is disappearing before my eyes. And I just hit 100K on my channel, like, what, a week or two ago? And it's weird for me because I should feel so excited about it. I should be overjoyed. I should be happy, right? But it's like, I can't be happy because Origins kind of made me where I am today. And to see it kind of slowly falling apart the moment I hit a milestone, it's upsetting. Because this is kind of what grew me. It made me more popular. It made me more into the community. It gave me something that I fell in love with. And to see it kind of slowly falling apart at the seams because of the changings of times, it's depressing. I won't lie. It's upsetting. And like I said, these people aren't just content creators. Like, they're my friends at the end of the day. So when they're leaving to do their own projects, of course, I'm excited for them. I'm happy, and I wish them nothing but the best. But at the same time, it's upsetting because the bonds that we've built throughout Origins with each other, it's fading because they're not there anymore. Not to say that we're not, like, friends or whatever, but it's just the fact that I'm going to no longer be able to record with them for Origins. It's weird. And like I said, like, at the end of the day, support them. You have to. People are moving on. People are doing bigger, better things if they feel the need they need to. People need to adapt. They got to do what they got to do to survive. And everyone's got to change. I mean, look at me here on Twitch. I was doing webcam for like the longest of time, even though I was kind of uncomfortable. And then I swapped over to this model that I'm using right now. Now make it a bigger change. I want to become VTubing on here. And I'm adapting myself. But also trying to stay within my confines of not expanding too far to where I'm losing what I originally wanted. We helped them in other recordings like Minecraft Pokemon. Of course. If people need me to voice act or, you know, do what they gotta do, like, I'm always down. I voice act in Jakey's stuff. I voice act in Brian's stuff. Like, I do it. I like doing it. I have fun. But like what Shadowblade just said, you have to follow the trends. And it sucks, to be honest. Because at the end of the day, like, yeah, YouTube is my job now. And it started as a hobby. But because it's a job and it's how I survive, I myself also have to think in the back of my head, as much as I love what I'm doing, how am I going to pay bills? How am I going to pay rent? How am I going to pay for my car? How am I going to pay for food? How am I supposed to, you know, feed my animals that I have? It becomes a financial device in the back of my brain where I'm like, yeah, I love what I'm doing. But at the same time, do I have enough money at the end of the month to pay for survival? You know? And for the last 4 months, it hasn't been. I'll be real. Between the end of December to about, I want to say, last month, I was barely surviving with the money I had because nothing was connecting with the audience. I didn't know what to do with my channel because we were on a break with Origins. I didn't know what to do. I had so much free time, I ended up coming with One Piece RP, which I was excited about. But at the same time, because it took me so long to actually get it going, I was stuck with no videos on my channel, trying to figure out what to do, and financially suffering. And luckily, I ended up getting a job with Rye Guy, and, you know, that's how I've survived the last, like, 2 months financially. If I didn't have that job with Rye Guy, I'd probably be working my full-time job again because I was not surviving financially. The money was not happening, and I was struggling to pay for things. So it's that weird, scary reality where, you know, once your hobby becomes a job, you really have to think at the end of the day, like, as much as I love doing something, am I going to be able to survive doing this? And luckily I can say things have gotten a little better, you know, and now that I work with Rye Guy, thankfully, financial situation has got better. And, you know, things will hopefully improve. So, you know, things are improving ever so slowly. And, you know, with all the people leaving Origins, it's left me mentally, you know, upset. Every time I see a new friend of mine mentioning that they're thinking about leaving, or, you know, they do say that they're leaving, it hurts. Because, again, I grew up doing this, you know? Like, I've been doing this for years. And to see all the content creators slowly leave and, you know, do bigger and better things, like, I'm happy, but I'm also sad. I went and followed new Origin members. Good. And, you know, Origins, throughout the years, we've had our ups, we've had our downs. Between, you know, one series will do great, the next series it'll flop. We'll have maybe a spat of drama occasionally, because we're a big group, or at least we were. We're a big group of creators, and, you know, spats happen, things happen, drama happens. It happens to anyone. Even to myself, I got into an argument with one of the creators in our group recently, but luckily, you know, we worked it out, and we talked about it, and we're cool now. And I'm not going to say who it is, just because, you know, public knowledge. I don't want to put that out there. But I got into a fight with someone over something. We argued about it. We took a few days. We thought about it. We spoke to each other on a personal level. And like adults, we handled the situation. And we're perfectly fine. And then there's other people who can't do that, you know? So it comes down to another thing of like maturity level. Like if you get into an argument with someone, can you overcome it and come to equal terms? Or are you just gonna, you know, be a crybaby bitch about it, basically? What about drama? There's been things that have happened throughout the years. I can't really say much on it because it's not my right or thing to say things about it. But there have been spats on Twitter. There have been individual bullshit that I don't need to mention because I wasn't involved in any of them. It was more like a bystander to see what the fuck was happening. But, you know, things happen. It's not... No one's perfect. Do you think in the future you'll all get together to make more seasons of Origins? See, that's another thing I have to talk about. Is, at the moment, right now, we're obviously still doing Origins. We're still doing SAO, you know, we're planning things. But at the end of the day, Lord knows what'll happen. Like, I don't know what'll happen. 2 months from now, Origins could, you know, fall off the face of the earth. I have no idea. So, this is why I really wanted to talk about it, just like personally to you guys, because I feel like no one in Origins talks to the audience about things that are going on. And I think the audience deserves a right to know some things. Obviously not every little detail, but they should know some things. So I don't know. It's weird because I feel like I'm the only creator that really talks to a lot, like the audience on like a multitude of levels sometimes. Like sometimes I have to bring the audience back to reality. Because at the end of the day, some people just see us as creators that make Minecraft and that's it. But like we also have our own struggles and things we're dealing with behind the scenes that no one sees. And I'm not afraid to say shit about it because I don't want to like be in the middle of like a massive depression or whatever. And then people be like, where are videos? Where are videos? Why aren't you making videos? Why, you know, what's happening? You know, like, I don't need that because then it piles onto me with more stress. So I always feel like I need to communicate with my audience on a level that they understand. Whether they be, you know, 10 years old or 20, like, doesn't matter to me at the end of the day. I just always feel like it's a proper thing as myself as a creator to talk to my audience if something's going on. I've had videos where I've literally recorded myself in the hospital being like, hey, I'm in the hospital, so, you know, don't expect videos. It's happened twice over the years. I've been in the hospital 2 times for problems. I had appendix, and then I was bleeding internally into my stomach, and both times I, you know, turned on my phone and was like, hi, I'm in the hospital, I'm dying. So, like, at the end of the day, like, we're all human beings, you know? We all have our own problems. We all have our own things going on. So I always feel like it's the right thing to do at the end of the day to talk to my audience about it. Because I don't want them to get this kind of parasocial thing where I'm just a creator and I just do Origins and that's my entire existence. Because it's not. I myself am my own individual. I do my own things. I don't just sit here and record Minecraft for 10 hours a day staring at a camera. You know, like I like doing other things. I like playing games. I like sports. I do other things. And I think that's a problem that a lot of people have with just creators in general is that we're just like these machines when we're not. We are not machines. We fucking fall apart. Hi, Maddie. And you know, we all have our ups and downs. And I always feel like it's proper to talk to the audience about it. Just like you guys have your own lives, we have our own lives too. We have our own struggles. We have our own problems. We have our own fears. We have unknowns, etc. And I don't know why, but I've never been afraid to really talk to my audience about that stuff. Like, I've mentioned that as of late, I've had financial issues. And it's not because I'm out there, you know, fucking going to strip clubs and shit like that or drugs, you know, whatever. It's just I've been struggling financially because YouTube hasn't been doing that well. And it's because of, you know, the current trends of Minecraft. And I have to make decisions depending on if I like it or not. So, you know, as much as I am not the biggest fan of the trends, not to say I hate it, it's just something I know I don't want to do. Like, I tried the Minecraft butt, and I try to do these things my own way, because at the end of the day, these are trends, you know? And everyone can do it exactly the same and get hundreds and thousands of views or whatever. But at the end of the day, I don't want to be that guy, you know? Like, if the person loves it, then that's fine. You know, it's whatever. But I am not the type of person to try to jump on a trend to become successful off of a trend that I know I'm not going to like. Like, I wouldn't do MCRP if I didn't like it. Just makes sense. I don't want to, you know, do something I don't like. It could get me thousands of views. I can make hundreds and thousands of dollars. But at the end of the day, if I fucking hate it, why am I going to do it? It doesn't make sense. Yeah, it's so true. It's sad that people don't view content creators as humans and hold them to such a high pedestal. It's not good on the creator's mentality or the fans. Yeah, and like I said, this is why I always communicate to everyone. Because I'm not the type of guy to be afraid to say to my audience, hey, I'm fucking struggling. My brain is dying. I'm upset. I am depressed. I'm not afraid to say it. And honestly, I just wish more creators were like that. You don't see a lot of creators talking to their audience on like a personal level, because at the end of the day, they just see them as these almighty people that create videos. And that's just not true. Like, I have no problem expressing myself emotionally to my audience. I have never had an issue with it, because they need to know at the end of the day that, like, if I have shit going on and I am struggling to get into a mental aspect to even create a video, then you need to know that. Instead of, you know, spamming me with, where's this, where's that, why is this video isn't out, when's the next episode of this, where's this, where's this, where's that. Like, I don't want those. Whenever I get a comment like that, it always bugs me. What makes me sad is people think that content creators have to make videos nonstop. Yeah. Wow, that was a long comment. Didn't even fit the thingy. I will attempt to read that whole. I feel like a lot of people think that the content creators cannot have personal problems and that they spend their time just making content for viewers. That's why it's kind of important for creators to tell their viewers that they are having something going on off camera, so they can tell their viewers they cannot always pump up videos and entertain them because they have their own issues. Fucking perfect example of what you just said. That is a fantastic paragraph. Because, like I said, at the end of the day, we are human beings. We all have our own issues. And that's why I never have a problem talking to my audience. Because if I don't talk to my audience, they're just going to assume I'm some fucking machine. When I'm not. To be honest, those creators that don't really talk to their audience, whenever they do talk about something, it's always dramatic when the topic is usually something small. That too. This is why I like to talk to my audience. And this is why I really like my audience. This is why I like you guys. You know? And I don't mean to like diss communities, but I really fucking like my community because y'all understand what I'm talking about, because I talk about it. It's like just understanding the basics of being a human being. And it's so hard for people to somehow fathom that, like, to understand. You say in your personal life, can't believe that it's all a lie. Yeah, I know. I'm actually just an 8-bit thing that talks here, and that's it. But that's why I love my community, is because y'all understand. And, like, I don't have to fucking babysit you. Because if you're being a dickhead, I'll let you know immediately. You know what I mean? Like, I shouldn't have to baby my audience and fucking nurture them to health if they're being assholes. If you're being an asshole, get the fuck out. Leave. I don't want you here. But this is why I like talking to my audience. I feel like too many creators are afraid to talk to their audience because they don't think their audience will understand. And that's just from my personal point of view. I love talking to my audience. It may not seem like it because my voice can be monotone and I have resting bitch face when I have webcam, but I do enjoy it. Shockingly, I enjoy it. I just don't do it that often because I'm a little socially anxious. That can definitely be seen in my Discord. I don't talk a lot in my Discord server. And it's not because I don't want to talk to my audience. It's just because I'm fucking awkward. Like, if people start asking me questions that I'm like, I don't know. You know, my brain, like, stuns. And it's just weird for me. Content creators shouldn't have to explain to their audience. People should be able to understand that you are not just a creator. Yeah. Yeah, and if you don't enjoy what you do, what's the point? Your happiness as a content creator means more from when you create amazing videos like in One Piece, etc. That is what honestly makes me happy, is when you're happy. I may be very different with that sort of opinion, though. Yeah. And, like, at the end of the day, you know, here's another thing, is as a content creator, obviously, you know, if you are one, if you'll understand this immediately, is not everyone's there to watch every single thing of content you do. That is a fact. Might be hard to understand, but it's a fact. It is a straight-up fact. I can literally show an example on my own channel. And you want to see it? Because I'll mention it right now. You want to know a fact? A lot of people are watching my SAO and my One Piece, right? But I tried doing better Minecraft. That shit failed. It hit hard. Like, the views between them is like night and day. It's insane. And that's just something as a content creator you gotta learn. Is not everyone is there to watch every little thing you do. And it sucks, but it's reality. And people don't think that some content creators got their own problems and that they have perfect lives, but I could be wrong. Content creators have hard jobs because some content creators can't hire people like video editors and stuff like that. Dude, if I could hire an editor for my channel, I fucking would. Because I'm not a good editor. I'm just not. I'm not. I've tried. I have learned things, but I can't do the edits that I want. There are so many edits that I would love to do. If you've watched like Smitty or like Sea-Dog VA, if I could have an editor of that caliber, I fucking would. But I can't afford that financially. I just can't. But I would love to have an editing like that. Because I love making goofy shit. And it's just how I am. I may not seem like it, but I do. In general, more creators need to talk to their audiences, not baby and sugarcoat everything. Yes, your audience may be younger, but you can't do that. It's not going to be a good on the creators, nor the fans. Nor the fan base in general. And that's such a running problem. That's why so many problems happen in their communities, why the fans never understand. And only think the best of what news may come. It's because said community has been babysat for such a long time. No, and that's the thing, too. And that's why I hate the fact that so many creators just don't talk to their audience about things. I mean, look at the reputation the MC community has. It's fucking horrendous. It was not like this 6 years ago. The community has gone from, you know, just something that was nice to a fucking mess. And it's a mess. It's really bad. Not to say that every creator has problems, but I would say a lot of the bigger communities in MC, just in general, it's bad. It's just bad. There's no other way to describe it. It's just bad. Usually I don't use Discord servers just some things yet upload. Yeah, I know some people do that too. Honestly, one of the reasons why I fell in love with Origins is how honest the content creators are, like how you and I are both very honest with your audiences. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I wish, honestly, more people would be like that. It's not that hard to just open up a little bit to your audience. You don't have to tell them your entire life story. Some do, some don't. But at least being completely honest with your audience about things and how you're feeling, I think connects you better with your audience. And just lets them know what the fuck's happening with you. So that way you can just understand, like, what's going on. It's good to be transparent with the audience because it helps the audience understand that you are still a human being and that you live life outside of content creation. Many content creators create content because they love making content and they enjoy their audience presence. If they stop enjoying their community and stop enjoying their time as a content creator, then something has to change, whether they leave or stop creating videos or if they take a break. Yeah. Also, thank you, Sierra, for the sub. Much appreciated. But yeah, like, you could just look at Minecraft YouTube's, like, community and stuff. Like I said, not all of it's bad. But there's a lot of dark spots in it that are just not cool. And it was not like this years ago. And even in the Origins community, there can be some things that, like, us content creators don't like. Between, like, whitewashing and shit. Like, I hate that. Bugs the fuck out of me. But there's just some things that, like, as a community, because we're so big and there's so many different audiences, we can't control and migrate every little thing. Because then it's like we're nitpicking. So whether we try to stop something, we'll get bitched at. And if we don't stop something, we'll get bitched at. So it's like, there's no win-win situation here. Because if we try to stop people from being assholes, we'll get yelled at. But if we just let them be assholes, we're gonna get yelled at. And it's gotten to that point to where I've heard that the Origins community, at least from an outsider's point of view, is seen as incredibly toxic. And not gonna lie, I can see why. If you hear things like that, makes sense. Thing I hate most that are in YouTube, one of the big videos, Monster School and Crack. What the fuck is that? I miss it when the community was just a bunch of people enjoying a black game. That's what I'm saying. It's gotten to this point where everyone has to battle everyone. Everyone has to be on top. Everyone has to fucking step on each other to get somewhere. And it's ridiculous. It's so disgusting that you have to basically try to one-up another content creator that could be your friend or not, just so you can surpass them and get yourself more out there. And it's disgusting that you have to do that. That you have to literally kind of step on someone to get an extra push. It's disgusting. It really is. At the point it's priority, is this big enough that it's worth saying something, or will this die down? That's true. That is another thing. Is it worth me saying something to stop it, or will it die down? And if you say, like I said, if you say something, you're seen as an asshole. Like, why'd you wait so long? Or if you wait, again, why'd you wait so long? Why are you waiting for it to die down? Why didn't you say something earlier? It's this weird thing where we can't control every little thing, because then it's like we're manipulating. I feel like all the people who put pressure on creators should stop nagging about when is the next video and should just go watch TV or play their own games. It's probably more entertaining than what I do. Whitewashing is such... Oh my god, it's so annoying. Like, hey, people don't whitewash. Yeah, I mean, that was a big issue too. I've had my own issues with the community, personally. You know, things still occasionally happen to where I'm a little annoyed. But, like, whitewashing has always been a big thing between, like, Solus and Jack. I've always had issues with that. Even Sal had a few. And Candy. Where it's like I make the skin a little bit tan, and everyone's like, nope, this man is the most Caucasian Minecraft character I have ever seen. And proceeds to draw them Caucasian, and I'm just like, nah, that's wrong. You're not right on that. Sorry, pal. There's a button that you can click that makes the white a little darker, and if you do that, you're golden. It's not that hard. What do you mean by that? Like, step on someone? It's like the best way to describe this, I guess. It's not that, like, you're literally using someone to get somewhere, in a sense, but it's the fact that it's like any job. It's like a competition, you know? Like, for example, if me and Naya are doing the same series, right? We're doing the same thing, but if they're getting more views than me, or vice versa, in the back of our head, we're happy for that person that they're doing well, but at the same time, they're like, why am I not reaching the same height as that person? I should be around the same or over them. And it becomes this whole thought process in the back of your head where you're like, I'm not doing this well enough. Why are they succeeding more than me? And why can I not reach that height? Or if you're over somebody, it becomes like a whole weird thing. I guess that's like the best way I can describe that. People chat and play a nice little block game. Everyone has to have an opinion of some sort just so they have something on them. That's what I'm saying, man. At the end of the day, we're playing a fucking 10-year-old block game where these morons walk around on a map, they pick up things, they move their arms, and we just voice over it. It's not that fucking serious, and I don't know why there's so much drama. It's not that serious. It has never been that serious. We are playing a game meant for children. It is literally E for everyone, and I don't know why it is such a problem. I've never understood why it is such a problem. I've literally wanted to make merch around that. Just being like, we play a game with, like, PlayStation graphics that is, like, 12 years old, or 10 or 11, however old Minecraft is now. Like, it bugs me so hard when there is so much baby bullshit high school drama that makes no sense in the MCRP community, and just MC in general. And it's like, why? Why is this here? It's a game that everyone's playing. It's no need. It's blocks. It's squares, cubes. That's it. That's all it is. Mitch, I think I can speak for everyone here, but no matter what, we love you and you're the best person we know. You're a guy who we can come to and speak to, and we will always be here for you. We want you to do what you want, and you do whatever your heart wants, and we won't complain and we'll follow you. You speak to your fans, and that's what I'm saying. Like, look, I always feel it's necessary to be honest with my audience. I keep preaching that in this, and it's because it's true. I think it should be a thing that people should be straight up with their audience instead of nurturing them. You know, there are times where I'll sit here and I'll be like, I love you guys, thank you guys so much, and then there's other times where I'll be like, guys, what the fuck? What are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna sit here, see you be a dickhead, and not say anything. I mean, it's just not happening. Jack White Washington get on my nerves. He was mixed. I also happen to be mixed in the amount of times I get called white. Yeah, I mean, I'm not white. I look white. I'm not. I'm Puerto Rican. Biggest issue is I'm tired of creators putting other people's down for doing content they enjoy still. That's another thing on its own, too. Exactly. People really said, yes, one of your characters were white. All of them are now white. Oh, God, don't even get me started on gacha. I don't even want to talk about gacha. But, like, I don't know. When it comes to Origins, I really don't know what's going to happen, to be honest. I really don't. I can't say anything because I don't know what's going on. Even as an admin, I honestly don't know what's going to happen. So, you know, I can't give you guys an answer because even I don't know the answer right now. And it's kind of just a waiting process. I mean, our group is getting smaller and smaller. It's getting to a point where I might be able to count it on 2 hands at some point, you know? Like, I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. But, you know, if you're here because you enjoy Origins, just know I'm not going anywhere. And hopefully we can pick things up and create stuff that y'all will enjoy and we'll still grow together and stuff like that. Like, I know this has been kind of like a up and down stream of like positivity to negativity, but it was honestly going to fluctuate because the topics we're talking about are serious topics. And they're not the most, you know, smile, happy things to talk about because not many people want to talk about it. But here I am talking about it. I just want to chill and play a block game and watch people play as a block game, create role play without someone beating up my ass about it. honestly, not to sound mean, but sometimes people just feel like they deserve it more than others, and that I don't understand why. Because as you said, Mitch, it's a 10-year-old game. There's no need to push people around to be on top. It should be, if you can make your audience entertained, that should be it. Sorry, if it sounds mean. It doesn't sound mean. It's true. Like, I always make it my fucking mission to always recognize the backstage crew. It is always my mission to let the audience know that I would not be where I fucking am without these people helping me behind the scenes. If it was not for the people behind the scenes that help with role plays, I would not be here. I would not have grown to how I've grown. Origins wouldn't exist. Like, it wouldn't have gotten this far without the people in the background that help. And I think a lot of people forget that. Is you have all these wonderful human beings in the background that never get to see the light of day. That's the same thing when you see a movie, you know? The moment you watch a movie, you're like, man, that actor, he's so good at what he does. This is beautiful. And then when you get to the end, what do? You dip because the credits show up and it just shows all the people that worked on it. You don't give a fuck. You wanted to see the movie. It's that thing where you know other people helped, but you're more looking at the person that's on the big screen. And the people in the back don't get that credit. If you check in my description for One Piece, I always recognize my backstage crew. Because if it wasn't for them, One Piece would not exist. I can't do that series by myself. I am sadly not that talented. I'm not that good at building. You know? It's like, I don't know. It's so incredibly important. And it's like, without them... Oh, God, that's a loud ad. And, like, without them, I would be nowhere. I find it quite bittersweet in the sense that old faces leaving means open spaces for new ones. The embodiment change occurs right before your eyes, just like how life does. Nothing's going to stay the same, and people need to accept that, and it's hard. Yeah, like I said, even for myself. You know? It's like, it's hard, because the people I work with are leaving. You know? And like, I wish them nothing but the best, but it still hurts at the end of the day. Because now I have to figure things out. Alicia wrote, Shadow Priest like to know, how do you think Origins can improve and come back and be better and come back stronger? Mitch, if you have a problem with this question, I'm sorry, but I think it's important. Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad idea. Backstage is so important. It's how videos come to life and how the characters are how they are. It's actually extremely bothersome when people only credit the creator. At the end of the day, people do it. I don't. That's that. It's nothing I can really say on that. It's kind of up to the content creator at the end of the day if they want to do that or not. But I always make sure that I try to credit as much as I can. Thank you, Power Hunter, for following, by the way. Behind the scenes are amazing. Marshy is honestly a great example of that. Not trying to call people out, but Marshy probably does a lot behind the scenes now. Look, she is joining Origins. Yeah, I mean, Marshy... Look, I'm going to say this with the kindest amount of respect to Marshy because she knows I love her. But she can be incredibly passionate when she wants to, and there's other times where she can't. So the fact that she has been helping us so much behind the scenes with SEO, I'm excited to see her get back into actually like doing Origins. I just hope that she sticks with it. And, uploads videos and stuff like that, obviously. I mean, I love that Marshy's back. That's the only fear I have. And I want Marshy to prove me wrong. That's that. Makes it so important. They should get so much more credit for what they do. Without backstage, things wouldn't be where it is at. Backstage is so important. Yeah, facts. I feel like with MCRP, it could be popular again if people take the trends in media and decide on those series and turn them into content on their channels. But that's my opinion. Yeah, I mean, some people can and some people can't. Like, I personally, as much as I fucking hate these trends, not to say I don't mind them. Like I've said it a billion times. I don't mind the trends. Some of them I think are funny, but like from my own personal point of view, I know I would not do them. Even though I work from one of them. I know for myself I wouldn't sit there and do it myself. But I have thought about trying to combine a trend with something old and mixing in with something new. Because at the end of the day, like I said, when it comes to the trends, I'm not the biggest fan of them. I just know for a fact I don't want to do them. But if I can combine it and do it my own way and do it something different, then I'd be okay with it, you know? It's figuring out the things that I like and dislike and kind of formulating a plan between them. Let's see. I feel like with MCRP, yeah, okay, right, that, sorry. Something I've noticed is that there isn't credit for who made the base map used in most Origin series. I found the base maps for 3 Origin series by accident online, but I've never seen any credit of that. Is there a reason? I would like to know because I generally don't know why this is the case. Honestly, I don't know myself. Really, I'm being completely honest. I don't know. Sometimes the map creators don't ask for credit. So at the end of the day, sometimes the creators don't feel like putting it. I'll say it for myself. I know for a fact I don't have the maps, or at least most of them, in my descriptions for Origins content. But when it comes to other things that I've done, like, again, for One Piece, maps in the description. For when I did Persona, maps in the description. I did Shield Hero, maps in the description. Like, I always try to credit it. And I don't know if that's because it's a group decision that we have to, like, put it there, or for just myself as an individual. But when I do my individual content, I'm always crediting as much as I can. So I don't know if that's just like an Origins thing. It might just be an Origins thing, to be honest. That's just that. One thing, just do more research when it comes to the diversity in character. That's one big thing I feel like should be done with Origins and how the characters are portrayed, especially for POC characters. The way they play said characters and design them, I know a lot of other fans agree, but yeah, that's another thing too. It's honestly why I don't really do heavily touched like POC things. I kind of do what I am, and the last 2 Origins, crazy enough, have been Puerto Rican because I'm Puerto Rican. But, you know, I'll occasionally dwindle into it, but I'm not going to go heavy just because I don't want to disrespect and, you know, fuck up something. And that's why, and I've had this mentioned to me a billion times, and people are like, Mitch, why have you never created a gay character? Like, why have you never done a gay character, bisexual, pansexual, whatever? Like, why have you never done it? And it's because I myself am not gay. I'm not. Shocking to hear, but I'm not. And that's a topic I am comfortable, like, not going into because I'm uncomfortable and I don't want to fuck it up. I've done other things, like where I had Jack who was deaf, but I made sure that, you know, I made sure that when I did his character, I actually researched and looked into it. You know what I mean? I wanted to make sure that when I was doing this character, I was doing it in the most respectful way as possible. And if I fucked up somewhere, then someone can call me out on it. Like, that's that. Really. What's up, Golden Touch? How are you? Oh, you had COVID? That sucks. I've been there, done that twice. I feel like Origins needs more POC content creators and backstage. I'm sorry, but a majority of them being white and how things are done, it can get offensive at times with how the characters are portrayed. It went on tangents about how POC characters are represented. Yeah. We don't have that many. I'll be completely honest with you. It's not like we haven't tried. There was, what was it, a few months ago. I think it was before SNO. That's wrong. You also forget that Davis is also POC. There's a few more than you think. But there was definitely a time where we were trying to invite more people. I believe it was when we added Rambo and Bernessa. When we were looking for more creators, I was heavily searching for MCRP POC creators, and it was shockingly really hard to find. And it sounds so weird, but it was really hard. And it sounds stupid, but like I said, it was really hard to find anyone. And then, in the chance that I did find someone, they hadn't uploaded for like 3 months or 4 months. And at the end of the day, you know, for being in a group, we need to have consistency. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, like, you know, if you're gonna join, we want you to at least try and upload videos and not take 7 months to get one video out. But it shocked me, to be honest, to see the lack of POC creators in MCRP. It was surprising, to be honest. It really was. I think out of the 3 hours that I spent looking, I think I found 7 channels. And not even like, you know, I wasn't even looking for like big channels, you know? Just anything in the community. Like whether you had 100, 1,000, whatever, it didn't matter. And like the fact that it was so incredibly hard to find a POC creator that was consistent boggled my mind. Like, it actually bugs me. Have you tried asking people in the group who know people who would be interested? Yes, we've had that before. And some people have said yes, and some people have just straight up said no. You'd be surprised the people we've asked who have turned us down. You'd be very surprised. I feel like there can be more diverse characters personality-wise. A lot of the characters follow certain tropes. I don't have a problem with the characters having certain tropes. It's just maybe the characters can feel less like they are part of a made-up story and more like their own person, if that makes sense. And I do hope I don't sound rude. I can see that. I have a question. Are Asians part of POC? I just learned... Ow. I choked on my cough. I like coughed and then I choked on it. Ow, that hurt. Who's texting me? Is it the Met game? Yay, the Mets are winning. Let's go, boys. Oh, it's interesting. And that's always something I try to, you know, talk about. At least when it comes to my characters. Oh, what's up, Froggy? Welcome to our discussion. But when it comes to characters in Origins, I definitely have characters who are similar. And I usually, and you've probably seen it throughout every single Origins, is I try to constantly adapt my personalities with every Origins. I mean, look at the way Jack was. Jack compared to, let's say, Viper, for instance. Completely different characters. But, if you take Doc and Viper, yeah, there's some similarities, but completely different stories. Completely different personalities. They had traits that were similar, both were pretty angry people, but their anger came from 2 completely different places. And even though both of their tales were kind of the same in a sense of revenge, the difference is one was depressed and kind of, you know, slowly formulating their revenge, slowly learning and adapting. And then when it came to the other, they were just so riled up by it that they would do anything to get it done. So even though they were similar characters, their stories and personalities were completely different if you look at it on a bigger scale. And same can be said with Candy right now. I mean, his story is nowhere close to being done. But I think personally, besides Database, who I think Database is probably my most well-written character, I don't think he's a top 5 for people when it comes to characters that I played, but he is definitely the most well-written character I have ever done in Origins. And I will say that with a fact, that I think he was the best written character that I have done. And that's a lot to say as a creator myself, because I know how much people love Viper, and I know how much people love Doc, but I know for a fact that Database was the most well-written character I have ever done in Origins. And the fact that I feel that Candy could possibly surpass that because of how I've written him, I think that as long as I can continue his story, as long as I can do it the way that I feel, Candy would probably be the best written character I have ever done. And it's just because of his story. So, it honestly just depends. And I stand by that, like, to my core, that Database was the best story I've ever written for a character. Because I knew how I wanted him to go from before it even started. I created that character knowing what I was doing. And with some characters, you could probably tell if you look back at things that I had a story, but then I had to kind of shotgun things. Meaning, basically, I kind of had to, like, figure out things midway through. And the thing with Candy and Database is that I have their stories going on the road that I want them to. And there's no unnecessary turns that I need to build further. Like, I know what I want, and as long as I continue to do that and continue to thrive with just expanding the story and making it as good as I can while it making sense, I think, like I said, Candy could probably be the most well-written character I have ever done for Origins. Honestly, I really like Candy. He's up there with my favorite characters of yours, and there's some tough competition. Doc is my favorite in OZ, and OZ is my favorite series I wasn't in. The Rising Order is going to be live comp team too. Yeah. And I find it weird because, you know, when it comes to Origins, I always am trying to adapt when it comes to my character creation. And like I said, I've had characters that are similar. Like Database, kind of cranky, you know, Viper, cranky, Doc, cranky. And they're all cranky. Even for One Piece, Cody, he's kind of cranky. But they all have different personalities. They all have different things that trigger them. They all have different sayings, different mental attitudes on situations. You know, it's, even though they're similar, they're also drastically different. And when it comes to my stories, I always think about their personalities first when I create a character. Because if I just go in there with the design without a personality, then it's just an empty shell of something I've probably already done. If I go in there just winging it, it's not going to come out well. And it's going to bug me. But yeah, it's just, you know, it's a big discussion between just talking about my own content creation, and, you know, the group in a total aspect. Because like I've said from the beginning of the stream, I don't know what's gonna happen in our future. I really don't. But, you know, if things change, things change. It's just the adaptions of time, you know? Everything has its course, and Lord knows, if this is the last Origins, I'm going out with the fucking bang. And if it's not, then that's even better. But I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what'll happen. With how things are going right now, it's a toss-up. You know what I mean? Like, I can't sit here and pretend that everything's perfectly fine, because things are not. With people leaving, we have to figure out different stories and plot lines. Then there's just a lot on the people who are still doing it. There's a lot on our plates right now, because some people had plot lines with others who have left. Some people, you know, just straight up left or did other things. Some people have discussed. So, you know, the situations. So everyone's in like a different ballpark trying to figure out which pitch to swing at next, really. And we're kind of unsure. We don't know what's going to happen. It's very unpredictable. There's a lot of unknowns right now. And I will say that, like, we've been having a lot of this negativity because, you know, content creators are leaving. And like I said at the beginning of the stream, it's because people want to move on to bigger, better things. They want to do the trends, which are more popular. And I get it. I understand why. If you want to grow that way, feel free. If you enjoy it, go for it. But it's just not in my vision as a creator to do that stuff. I'm not gonna, like, you know, do the trend stuff just to make myself expand with an audience that I probably won't like. Because they're only going to expect that. They're not going to want me. And that's a thing that bugs me. Is because at the end of the day, a lot of people will see me as CrazyMitch42. And that's it. And we talked about this earlier. That's it. They'll see me as the guy who puts out roleplays. And that's all there is to him. He just makes roleplays. And you guys know for a fucking fact that on Twitch, there's a lot more to this guy that just does roleplays. I can be a psycho sometimes on here. So I am always trying to be down to earth as much as possible when it comes to my content creation. Because, you know, even like here on Twitch, I'll say some things that I know for a fact would not fly on YouTube. I know it wouldn't. Because everyone and their mother is going to be up in arms if I say something that they don't like. And they'll think I'm dead serious. And there was a fact with that too. Where, if you remember, in My Hero Origins, when I was playing Database, we had the episode where I made Database pretend that he was transphobic in that episode. And people were fucking rioting. Like, I mean, rioting before the episode premiered. And I knew it was going to happen. But I had the discussion with Naya beforehand, where I was like, I know people are going to come after me because of the way this video looks, and that's fine. I was like, until they watch the video, they can be as mad as they want. I was like, but we're not only doing something that I think would be interesting, but we're also proving a point. And the point is that what my character was doing, even though he was pretending to be transphobic and pretending to make fun of what Riku wanted to be and how they felt they wanted to be, it was a shot of reality of things that actually happen IRL that aren't a joke, you know? And I think that was a pretty powerful episode, to where it was an episode where we got to see Riku, who was a character that was very, very, like, shy and scared about the database, to actually stand up and stand for what they believed in. And at the end of the day, it was a test. But this is something that happens on a daily basis. You know? People get made fun of because they're, you know, they're transgender or whatever. People just can't let other people live, apparently. Because it was an episode that was meant to be incredibly serious. And even though it's an RP and we were joking and, you know, doing shit that we normally do, there was a very, very serious point behind that episode. And some people got it, some people didn't. For the people that did, hopefully it made sense. And people, you know, took that episode and maybe, you know, looked at it a bit differently. And if somebody's transphobic that saw that episode, maybe it changed their mind. Like, who knows? Like, I've been thinking about doing a romantic RP for a while, but it would take place during COVID. Like, when the pandemic hit, and it would be centered around somebody who is dealing with anxiety and the fear of going out in the world because COVID fucked up his life. So, like, there are some real serious topics that you can talk about, but it's the way you describe it or the way you talk about it and the way you do it that needs to be done correctly. I think there was a scene, I don't know if it was in Origins or it was another series. I know one of our friends did a scene where there was like a racism scene. And again, it's something you don't see very often. I think, and this is gonna sound really out of fucking nowhere, but if you're old enough, you might know this. But there was an episode a long, long time ago on Disney. If you watched That So Raven when you were younger, there was an episode where the main character, who is black, did not get a job, and her friend got it because she was white. That episode stuck with me as someone who looks white and gets treated as a white person 99% of the time because I look white. That episode made me view the world a little differently, and it stuck with me since I was younger. It's always been there as something that kind of changed my mind on things. And sometimes with what we do at the end of the day with these RP stories, we can tell sad stories, we can tell funny stories, we can tell actiony stories, we can tell, you know, different stories. At the end of the day, sometimes I like to put in those real life elements because people don't see it. You know? It's weird that in today's society, fucking Blue's Clues, you know, a show that I grew up with when I was a kid, is doing more for the gay community than some other shows could be doing. Like, it's shocking that, you know, a show that is centered for little kids, like I'm talking like 2, 3, 4-year-olds, even probably up to 6 years old. And look at what it's doing. It's incredible that it's doing this. And I fucking claps to the creators. I always knew watching Blue's Clues as a kid was a good idea. Because now as an adult, it's awesome. And it's weird that, you know, a lot of shows and serious topics don't get talked about too often in things. I think media touch up more on real life issues. It can be a risky step, but it's important, especially for younger audiences who are much more influential. That's what I'm saying. The younger generation, look at our generation right now. The younger generation compared to, like, I don't know, our parents' generations, vastly different on how our thought processes are and stuff like that. It's wild, the differences. And that'll probably still happen. Probably when I'm 60 and I talk to someone that's like 20, might have completely different opinions on things. But it's just how we were raised. As a black episode, that episode was such a hit of reality, and it honestly hurt me a lot as a young black child seeing that. It gave me such a hit of reality. And it's sad, but it's true. It does happen. When I was growing up, even when I worked at my old job, my parents always told me that when I went for a job interview, which I've only done about 2 or 3 times, you know, you get your sheet of what's on it, and, you know, they ask for your race. I always put Caucasian because I look Caucasian. I look white. So even though my last name is Spanish, I put it because there's a bigger priority because I look white that I could get a job, you know? And it's fucked up. It's true. Not when I was doing my stuff, hon. This is years ago. When tackling serious topics, there's a risk of messing up. But I think messing up and learning from a mistake and changing is better than hiding from the topic forever. Facts. I know personally, I wanted to have a character, not that I would play personally, but a side character in a series. I wanted to have a Muslim character in a series because I just felt like the representation is lacking. I can't think of a Muslim Minecraft creator off the back of my hand. I know I can't. And it's because you don't see it. They exist, but I don't know where they are. And I can't find them. If someone finds them, let me know. But I grew up with a lot of Muslim friends as a kid. I had a lot of Muslim friends. And, you know, again, it comes down to the world and how people view them. It's fucked up. It is. So I had thought about creating a Muslim character. Like I said, not one that I play, but I wanted to look into it and possibly make it a character in a series that would be like a side character that somebody else would play. But I know I wanted to talk to a few of my friends about it to make sure that I was doing it correctly. You know what I mean? Because again, it's something serious that people can take one way and take the other. And as long as I feel like I'm doing it correctly and I'm not hurting anyone at the end of the day, and I can, you know, put out that positivity, I think it'd be cool to do stuff like that. As an age person, especially during the pandemic, racism was prevalent. I knew it would happen. My parents knew. It sucks, but it's the harsh reality. Yeah. I have a few friends that were Asian that kind of got, you know, that treatment. And it's fucking bullshit. But there's nothing you can do about it at the end of the day, which sucks. And, you know, there have been some frightening things that have happened due to that. Like the woman that got attacked in New York, and everyone just fucking stood there like assholes and didn't even help. It's like things like that where you could clearly help, but instead of helping, you just pull out your cell phone. Like an absolute piece of trash. And I hate that shit. It's like instead of helping, you're just watching someone get their shit kicked in for no reason other than they're Asian. And it's disgusting that you pull out your cell phone to videotape someone instead of actually doing something. And it's disgusting. It really is. And I try to represent as much as I can when it comes to Origins content, because I know for a fact that the Origins content is slightly bigger than my own content. So the fact that I can try and represent something that isn't really shown that often is cool. And that comes with, you know, Jack being deaf, and even with Sal, who was not a character I got to finish, but he was an ancient, you know, civilization of Puerto Rican descent that I was trying to represent. And even though I never got to finish that story, there was a lot to him that could have happened but didn't. And I think it would have been really cool if I was able to finish it, but I never got a chance to. Nah, you're cool, Kinsey. You're cool. I've only faced being not accepted as a black person. Luckily, I haven't really seen racism towards me being Middle Eastern, although I have gotten, oh, you're Turkey, That's what I'm saying, man. It's just, it's a fucked up world we live in sometimes. And that's why I try to represent to the best of my ability. Because I was raised that way, you know? Like, my mom, funny enough, on Mother's Day, I'm talking about my mother, but my mom raised me to be this way, in a sense, you know? Like, why should I view somebody else because they have a different skin color, or they're from somewhere else, you know? Or they're different. Maybe that guy likes other guys. Maybe that girl likes other girls. You know, like, why are we so fixated on trying to keep everyone on this same level? And why do we feel the need as a human race to make one race, one skin color, one gender, whatever, higher than the other? It's this weird thing, and I've never understood it. I will say, as someone who grew up in New York, I've seen the good, I've seen the ugly. I've grown up with many different type of friend groups, and I've been friends, you know, with Muslim kids. I've been friends with, you know, Caucasian. I've been friends with just African American, you know, whatever. My high school that I went to was 95% African American. 95%. That entire school. And I was called white boy all the time because, again, I look white, even though I'm not. And I didn't have a problem with it. I never did. I never took it as some, like, you know, problem. I didn't care. But I don't know. It's weird. I didn't expect to get into, like, racism and shit today. Honestly, did not think I'd get into that. But because of the way my parents raised me, I was raised to not give a fuck what your skin color was, what gender you're into, what gender you are. I was raised to not give a shit and just let them be who they want to be at the end of the day. It does not matter. Why should I try to do something like that? It's not why. Why would I feel the need to do that? There's no reason. And my parents were raised the same way. So it's, you know, if I was not raised the way I was, I could be completely different. I could be a racist guy. I could be homophobic. I could be, you know, whatever. But I'm not because of the way I was raised and the way I was treated. And I have never had an issue like that. I have had some slight racism and things thrown at me sometimes. 99% of them are usually jokes between friends, and that's that. But there have been a few times where I've had some serious things, but I'm not gonna, you know, fight about it. I'm just gonna brush it off, go on with the rest of my day, because that one person's opinion shouldn't fucking matter to me. At the end of the day, they can go fuck themselves. It's also why parents influence their children and their views, so it's also trashy parents that results in growing kids having these viewpoints. Facts. It is that way. I've grown up with so many different types of groups of friends that, like, honestly, as a straight boy, I can't see I know everything. There are still many things when it comes to the LGBTQ+ that I don't know. You know? Like, there are a lot of things I don't know. But I've grown up with that. I've grown up with different races, being in different friends groups of different races and all that stuff, that I've just been so mixed around that it's like, why should I care, you know? And it's not to say I don't care as in, like, I don't give a fuck about you or whatever. It's that thing of not, you know, what's the best way to say it? It's not, I'm trying to think of, like, the best way to say it, because it'll sound bad no matter how I say it, I think. But it's just like treating someone normal. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, treating them like a normal person. Thank you. Yeah, it's like just not caring, like, just whatever. I had so many gay friends in high school. I even had some of them hit on me occasionally. But, you know, at the end of the day, they knew I was straight, but they would just jokingly do it, and it's whatever. Like, I don't care. I had a lot of lesbian friends in high school. I didn't really start learning about the non-binary and all that stuff until I hit, you know, the Origins community, honestly. I didn't even know that was a thing. What's up, Davis? Touching upon subjects like that can come with a mixed bag. Not that they're bad topics, but that if you don't handle it correctly or you're not even a part of that group, you're going to be seen as bigoted or blind or something. To this day, I still get comments about how I'm appropriating the Hispanic culture despite the fact that I'm Hispanic gen. It's just weird in general, man. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And it's something I said too. It's like, I constantly say that I'm Puerto Rican, not to just say that I'm Puerto Rican, but because of the way I look, the way I act. I look Caucasian, but I'm not. I'm not. I'm just not. And that is a fact. That if you're not part of the group and you talk about it and you say one thing that they do not agree with, you will get jumped so fast by people who just want to see you fucking rot. You will get jumped for having an opinion. In an African American class, we talked about like this at least 3 times a week, and it's mainly because she's white, and we were shocked to see a white teacher teach a class meant for African Americans. We normally have friends debates about the racism black students face in schools and how things are handled based off of one's race. Yeah, and like that's why I kind of like the way Origins was built. Was because not just we had some occasional POC representation, but the Origins also taught me a lot about the LGBTQ plus community. I say plus because I don't remember how many full-on letters there are. I know like occasionally there's other letters in it, but I don't want to like disrespect. But I've learned a lot about that community because of Origins, and I only knew so much going in. So I learned so much shit. So much. I just get an episode way homophobic is the thing. I thought it was okay because the way I learned, so this is helping me. The lockdown helps with the time stuff, especially in there, stuff like that. Yeah. Kind of like being on a field of landmines, to be honest. If you have an opinion, someone doesn't like you, you will blow up and you're going to get destroyed. That's true. That is a fact. That happens anywhere. It doesn't just happen in Origins. It happens anywhere. Where you leaving Origins too, Mitch? No, I'm not leaving. Love of God, people. See, remember when I said this at the beginning of the stream? No offense to you, Burnout, but I said at the beginning of the stream where I was like, I'm not leaving. We're just having a discussion. We're just talking. I literally realized I was agender through playing an agender character, Elliot. Roleplay was almost like my way of testing the waters of how I felt about it. Yeah. And I mean, not to point figures, but look at Naya. Look at that story. Right there. Sadly, I didn't learn about LGBTQ+ until I reached college. Really wish they could teach more about it in the middle and high schools. Yeah. Honestly. I can tell you right now, through my entire education, was not touched upon. Probably the only time it was touched upon was in health class. That's it. Unless you spoke to your teachers about it, it was not a subject that would be brought up. It means anything. Most people just use LGBTQ+, but on occasion, also being more popular, they add the LGBTQIA+. Okay. A lot of people are leaving Origins, it said. Yeah. There are a lot of people leaving. I'm not one of them. I hope to not be one of them. I'm going to keep this VOD saved because of learning more. Yeah, and honestly, I hope this is a good stream for everyone. Because like I said at the beginning of the stream, I feel like there's a lot of things creators need to talk about that they just don't. They just don't open their mouth. And I think it's because if they have this weird overbearing thing on top of their audience, the moment they say something that's truthful, the audience is like, what? What do you mean? And I've made sure to try and build that relationship with my audience where it's not something like that. Like, I will call you out if you're being a fucking idiot. If you're being something I don't like, I don't want you here. And that's that. So, and like, I've been educated through Origins, and I still don't know every little detail, like I said, because I just don't. There's a lot. I'm gonna be real honest. There's a lot I don't know. As a human being, I do not know everything. But I try to educate myself as much as I can. And you know, and like I said earlier, that's the reason why I don't play gay characters, is because it's just something I'm uncomfortable doing. Because if I fuck it up, it's like that landmines, you know, you mess it up, and if there's someone that doesn't like you and you do that, you're gonna get ripped apart. And if I'm gonna play a character like that, I want to make sure I'm doing it correctly. And I just don't think personally I can do it correctly. So I never try to do it because I don't think I'll be able to do it correctly without someone taking offense somewhere. Being willing to learn is always better than like 50% of the world. Yeah. I respect the LGBTQ community because my mom were friends with our previous neighbors who were lesbians. Yeah. And that's kind of a thing I've noticed, you know, growing up in this kind of generation where things are changing a lot. You know, it's not like our parents where, you know, they fucking got a TV and it had color. You know, it's different now. It's a little more of a different changing of the world that we're going through right now, where there's a lot more people not wanting to be the gender they were born with, not wanting to, you know, be in love with the opposite gender. You know, some people want to be gay. Some people want to do things differently. And that's happening a lot more now. And I feel like it's because a lot more people are getting comfortable with just being themselves. And then there's all the bigots, dumbasses that say, fuck you, you be what you were born to be, and that's that. And those people can go fuck themselves. Properly. And I don't know, it's just, as someone who's grown up as straight and is still straight, I definitely have seen way more gay than straight over the last, I'd say, 5 years. I think since high school, I have probably hung out with more people on the gay spectrum than straight. And there's nothing wrong with that. There shouldn't be anything wrong with that. Like, who cares? Again, like I said, like, who cares? I ain't got a problem with it. So, I don't know. But let's probably dial it back a bit. We've been on this subject for a while now. Let's dial it back to Origins and kind of just see where we're going with this stuff. Because we've been talking about a lot of serious subjects today. Some subjects I didn't actually think we'd be talking about, we're talking about. But I'm glad, like I said, with the audience here, that we're all mature enough to talk about that. And that's cool. I like that. And I'm glad we can have that kind of conversation. Tell us your favorite candy moment so far. Go. Let's see. My favorite candy moment so far. I would say either the latest episode that came out, where we had Candy standing up against Cradle, and did that, or I think the first episode. I really liked how the first episode went. I had a really, really nice time with the first episode. So I would say either the latest or the first were probably my favorite moments. Might need a drink with all the talking. Yeah, it's a fact. My throat's starting to feel like... That's why I grabbed the water before we started, because I knew I was going to be able to clear my throat. But yeah. Have clubs and stuff. I'm grateful, though I realized I was bi, and when I thought I was bi because of I realized I was pan, or my mom is still currently pan, and I'm glad I grew up in a more accepting environment than other people don't get. Yeah, that's true. A lot of people don't get it. And it sucks. It does. I may not be someone who has grown up, you know, being hated for who I am, but I can definitely understand that it's awful. And I hope that with my videos and stuff, it makes those days a little bit better than normal. I always love seeing comments about that, where I'll get a comment occasionally where it's like, you know, this video made my day, or, you know, a certain character has changed my view on something, or it was cool to see this representation. And that's why I really like what I do in Origins. Is at the end of the day, like, I could totally leave if I feel like it. I definitely can. There's nothing holding me down, you know, to where I can just walk away. I totally can. If I wanted to, I could leave right now. But I'm not, because it's not only something I enjoy heavily, but it's also changing to the audience. And I know for a fact that, at least with my own audience, I know they enjoy it. I know they like what I do. And I'm going to continue to do that. I will say, though, honestly wish we had more people on Twitch, but that's just me. Because you guys get my full personality here on Twitch. And you don't really get to see that too much on YouTube just because of RPs, obviously. I do want to try and implement some more non-RP things. And, you know, it's something like that where, so that's that. But, you know, at the end of the day, I don't want to sit here and do something I don't want to do just to, you know, go. And, like, there's a lot of you in here that are here on a regular basis. That I see your names constantly in my Twitch streams, and I greatly appreciate it. You know who you are. I don't think I need to point it out. Y'all know who you are. And we definitely have new viewers here who hopefully will stay for other things. So, you know, it's just how life is. And we've spoken about a lot of things today. We've spoken about the Origins community. We've gotten into some other touchy subjects. We've spoken about racism. We've spoken about LGBTQ. We've spoken about representation. We've spoken about the MCRP community. We've spoken about a lot of shit. And like I said, I wish we had more creators that just got down to a personal level with their audience and just had discussions like this occasionally. Because I think it's that personal connection that's missing nowadays with a lot of creators. If you think about it, if I do content on my channel where it's just me, it's not me role-playing a character, and I showed it earlier as well, I spoke about it, where I did the Minecraft series for like 3 episodes, where it was the Better Minecraft. That was me. That wasn't me role-playing a character. That was just me. And the fact that it was like one of my most worst performing videos I've done in months says a lot right there about where I am in the world. Where people would prefer me role-playing a character than actually learning about me myself. And that kind of sucks. I won't lie. Kind of sucks. That's just how the world is. With the RP stuff, I guess, is people would rather see me play a character than actually see who I am on the inside. And not everyone's like that, obviously, but I would say a good amount are. They would rather see me play a character than see me just talk and hang out and whatever. So it's just how it is, and I've grown to accept that. But at the same time, it doesn't mean I'm not going to show myself on my own channel, because I have things I want to do on the channel that involve Guess what? Just my personality. So, Zach, what's up? Yeah. So, you know, there's a lot to be discussed. And I hope that when I get my VTuber model down the road, maybe Twitch on here will pop off a bit more. I think it'll add a fun element to my streams that, you know, will be unique. I honestly really plan on upgrading the setup here when I have a bit more money and doing stuff and whatnot. So, we'll just, like, see. But yeah, like I said, we've spoken about a lot of serious subjects. Some that were Origins related, some that were not Origins related. But I think at the end of the day, like I said earlier, is, you know, the people who are leaving Origins respect what they're doing. You know, I saw your DMs, hon. But, you know, there are things that, you know, needed to be discussed. Here, at least. I definitely could have brought up other things, but it's not my place. It's not. It's not my place. If people want to bring up their drama with whatever, they can bitch and complain about their drama about a block game. I don't give a fuck. And that's up to them at the end of the day. If they want to turn the MC community into a whole drama-filled hellhole, they can do that. I don't care. What's up, Bryn? As an unfortunate reality, even for non-RP channels, most viewers are there for the build or redstone device or info on whatever mod is being showcased in the vid, not the creator. Only a small core of true fans love everything the creator puts out, and we creators appreciate those kind of fans. People like you here now watching this. Yeah, and that is reality. It's vastly true. I watch content creators, myself, and even for myself, I'll nitpick things. I'll be like, they're playing this game. I don't really like that game, so, like, whatever. And, you know, it's just how it is. But at the end of the day, the content creators that I watch, I like them not because of what they create, but because of how they are. Like, Smitty, absolutely love his channel. CDog VA, someone I got into recently, a few months ago, due to Alicia. Fucking love his personality. He has got such a great personality. That dude is awesome. Iron Mouse, another person, great personality. And it doesn't matter what they're doing, they're great. And, you know, as a Minecraft creator, thank you, Stormy, for the follow. As a Minecraft content creator, you'd be shocked that I don't watch Minecraft content. And I think that's why I'm so out of the loop when it comes to things. Is, I don't follow many content creators that I actually, like, watch. You know what I mean? Because I play Minecraft 24/7. And, kind of get fucking sick of it. Occasionally. So, I like to watch other things. Doesn't mean I won't watch the occasional Minecraft. But it's definitely not something I'll do 24/7. I won't play it, then watch someone play it, then record it, then, you know, do whatever. With as many people as, with a lot of people leaving, do you think old Origins like FTO or OO came back as many people are connected to somebody that left? I don't know. Honestly, I hope OO fucking burns. If you want my complete honesty, I fucking hate OO.
Yo, it's been 37 months XD.
37 months, let's go. And I'll say that with no chill. I fucking hate OO. I cannot stand it. And I really hope it never comes back. I'll be dead serious with you right now. I hate it. I hate Origins of Olympus. Every Origins of Olympus I've done, I've been fucked over at some point, somehow, some way. And it's just like a never running, like, just shit show for me. I just hate it. I know a lot of people like it. And that's fine. People got their opinions. I personally hate it. It's been overdone. So, like, it's whatevs. People riot. So I'm over it. I'm done. God, my throat is gonna be shot after this stream. I've been talking so much. That's a yike shadow. Davis. Hey man, do what you want. I'm just letting you know I fucking hate it. I'm just letting you know I hate it. Everyone's entitled to their opinions, man. Like, I know for a fact, me and Alicia, we dislike it a lot. I know some people love it, and that's fine. I just know if it comes back, there will be a gun in my mouth. How did you get fucked? Just baby bullshit in the background. You know, things happen. People leave midway through that I have plot ideas with. My story gets screwed over. I have to come up with random things. You know, just all that stuff. I have I would say a history of my stories getting fucked. Y'all ever wondered why a lot of my series never end? There you go. There's your example. There is the reasoning. Is because somewhere down the line, my stories will usually get messed up that I have planned, and then that happens. So if you ever wondered why there's a lot of Origins that I don't finish, there's your answer. I only really love the story to do with the 2 of the 11 characters I played. The rest kind of fell through. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. It's hit or misses with everything. O3 is a bit of a clusterfuck at some points, so no, for Naya it was now she wanted it to go. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't really finished a lot of Origins, and it's usually because something happens. Wish of some more of your SNL character. Same. I really do, with Sal. Sumatch is saying people laugh, but what he means is he shot them all. They didn't want him to roleplay with them. Yeah. Yeah, I've actually... So the reason why people are leaving, actually, is not because people want to do other things. It's actually because I'm slowly deleting people from the group, so I can then reign supreme as the overlord and slowly become the most viewed channel in Origins, and then take everyone's subs, put them on my channel, and then grow an empire. That's my plan, and it's been my plan since day one. And that is my plan. It's the crazy bitch takeover. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, man. I mean, everyone's entitled to their own opinions. It's whatever. Like, who cares? I think you should move the plan to Twitch. More money in Twitch. Maybe. SAO obviously has my hopes. I actually really like it. I'll be honest with you. I love SAO right now. I really do. I am in, like, I'm loving it. I love SAO right now. I'm having a great time. Videos are a little slow, I won't lie, but it's because I'm doing quality over quantity. I'd rather tell the story I want than just throw out random things that don't matter to the story. So that's why my episodes have been pretty lacking. And, like, it's probably going to stay that way. I gotta hurry up on that cinematic, that's why. It's not even just that. I gotta finish a script for it. For one of those cinematics. But, you know, it's whatever. I'll finish it. I'm just having a little bit of a mental struggle with it. Other than Zylo, I feel like you're the most popular Origins creator. I don't think so. I don't think I'm the most popular. And I have a lot of personal opinions about that. I don't think some of them would fly. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real honest with you. I have my own opinions on it. But I won't say because I don't think it's something that needs to be brought up. And I think it'll sound pretty scumbaggy. I think. If people take it the wrong way. But I also don't want to be the most popular at the same time too. And that's the thing that I like kind of about like Twitch and like YouTube and stuff is like, yeah, I would say I'm definitely more popular on YouTube. That's a fact. But I never want to be the best. And you're probably wondering why. Why don't you want to be the best? Why don't you want to be the most popular out of like everyone? And the reason behind that is because I like things like we're doing right now. Like, we're having a serious conversation about a lot of things. And if I had like 3,000 of you, this would be a clusterfuck of an explanation. And I like kind of having a smaller audience. Do I wish I had enough to be a partner? You're damn right. But need 75 average viewers, by the way. But you know what I mean? It's like I want to have an audience big enough to where I can manage it, to where it's not like I just see the text scrolling by and I can't keep up with it, because then I get overwhelmed. I like kind of being this kind of middle ground between, yay, I'm popular and I'm not that popular. I like it because I get to be more one-on-one, like this, like we've been doing for the last 2 hours. We've been talking. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if people save this VOD. I might even upload this VOD to the VOD channel that I haven't uploaded in forever. Because I think what we spoke about here today is a lot of things about people would not talk about. And I don't care if people agree with what I say. It doesn't matter. Maybe people will take clips of this, what we spoke about today, drop it in Origins. Maybe people will talk about it in Origins fan Discord. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm the type of dude that will talk about things that others are afraid to talk about. It's this weird thing where it's like being the voice of the voiceless, in a sense, where I'm not going to sit here, I'm not going to scream and yell about it, I'm not going to bring up drama, I'm not going to start ranting on Twitter and my 27 privates about some random bullshit that doesn't involve me. It's not worth it. But I will talk about things that actually matter if I need to. And that's why I made this stream today. Because a lot of people had questions. People didn't know what the fuck was happening. People just started dropping out of Origins left and right. The community was freaking out. They're like, oh fuck, who's leaving next? What's going on? Like, what's happening? Like, no one knew what was going on. And I'm not trying to like be rude to my fellow creators in Origins, but there wasn't a lot of like actual talk about it. Like, yeah, some people made videos to discuss it a bit, but no one went into like kind of full-on details and, you know, fully discussed it. And I think a lot of people needed that. There was a lot of people, and I'm sure right now in chat, where they're like, yeah, I didn't know what the hell was going on. I wanted someone to talk about it, but no one was saying anything. And I think it was worth doing this type of discussion because, you know, people wanted to talk about it. There was this massive lack of communication that no one was really doing. And I think someone needed to say something. And since I'm an admin, I felt like it was kind of like my duty to do something and say something. Don't worry, the details will come. Of course. Of course, of course. But I think, like, I guess not like an individual level, but, like, as an overall, I think just something needed to be said. I think someone needed to say something. And if no one else was going to do it, you know, I got to step up and say something and talk about it. And, you know, because our audience is so big with Origins, the lack of communication is there. It's totally there. There is a big lack of communication. So if I can get, like, the 50 of you that have mainly been here, it could spread to the others and be like, hey, you know, we had this discussion and, you know, whatever, and we spoke about it and we talked. And, you know, we're learning things about what's happening behind the scenes. And like I said, I'm not going to say every little thing. There's no reason for me to. It's not my, you know, it's not my place to say every little detail. It's not. But I will say what I think needs to be said. And I'll do it. And, you know, it's just something that needs to be fixed. And Alicia, you're 110% correct. There is a big lack of communication in and outside the group. And it's something that needs to be worked on. Not just between the creators, but also with the audience. And that's why I wanted to do the stream. I wanted to talk. I wanted to talk about things. And I didn't want to leave the audience in the dark, sitting here being like, what the fuck's happening? Because once you see one creator go, and then you see another, 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 the automatic thought process is, it is burning to the ground. And the audience is like, what's happening? So I felt like someone had to say something, and I took it upon myself to say something. So, I don't know. But I don't want to ramble for too much longer. My throat's actually, like, starting to hurt because I've been talking for so long. You know, usually with these streams, I kind of take a breath. You know? But I think where we're heading right now with Origins, it's a big unknown. It is. There's no doubt in my mind. There is a lot of unknown. There's a lot of uncertainty. But at the same time, there is some positivity at the end of the day with this. And if I stick with all the negatives, you know, I'm going to be stuck in that negative mindset. Where, as myself, as an admin, as someone who has been in this group for a very long time, like, we need to step up. It's not going to be what we wanted it to be, and that's okay. But I'd rather sail the ship and watch it sink and drown with it than just let it fall apart and watch it burn. So it's all about stepping up at the end of the day. But I think I'm going to end my stream here. I have been talking for far too long. If people want this VOD, I guess, because like I said, we did talk about a lot here. It was a lot of serious subjects that we spoke about. The VOD will stay. I'll upload it to my VOD channel if people want to go back and rewatch this or something like that. I'm sure people might want to clip specific things that I said and maybe share them. I don't know. It's up to y'all at the end of the day. If you want to share clips of things that I've said, if you want to talk about it, feel free to talk about it in my Discord or in the Origins fan Discord. It's whatever you want. And hopefully at the end of the day, you know, we will figure things out here with Origins. We'll figure stuff out. We'll hopefully be better, and we'll just work. We'll work our hardest to make sure that the ship doesn't sink. But yeah, I liked having this conversation with y'all. I appreciate y'all's time and, you know, discussions we had here tonight. I appreciate it. But yeah, that's it for me. I'm gonna go eat because I'm hungry. My eyes are starting to hurt because I've been staring at a screen for so long. Just like in the same spot. So my eyes are hurting. So I appreciate y'all. Thank you for coming out and listening to me ramble. I'll probably be live sometime soon again. Maybe Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. Tomorrow probably won't be live because I'm hanging out with Alicia. It's her birthday. So if y'all could give her some birthday wishes in chat, I appreciate it. And I'm sure she will appreciate it too. It's her birthday tomorrow. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask me in my Discord, or you can even hit me up on Twitter publicly. That is completely fine. I will answer a question if I can answer it. I have no problem with doing it, whether it be in a public setting or behind the scenes. If you want to ask me something, ask me. I don't care. But yeah, make sure to tell Alicia happy birthday, because her birthday is tomorrow. And that's it for me. I hope y'all enjoyed this. I hope you learned something. Maybe saw a different point of view on something here. I don't know. But I think this was a healthy discussion with everyone here. I think this was good, and I think it's something that needed to happen. But alright, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and you'll have a wonderful rest of your evening, or your morning, or your afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for coming out, listening, and have a good one, y'all. Later.